Captain's Log Supplemental.
Hey Jeremy, you know those race cars you're busy building?
Yeah, I do. I
You,
got one
you,
that I'm looking at every day.
you know what I don't see you working on?
You don't see me working on the amazing Sentinel system yet.
That's true. It would take all of 10 minutes for you to have one.
And it's very quick and easy to install.
It is. It is. And we could watch you when we are not at the race with you and see how you're doing. And then we can call you up when you get out of the car and tell you everything you did wrong.
And I love that because so many years I've been driving and not been able to see what I'm doing.
I know.
And now we can.
I know. You know what I'd like to do with the video? My most favorite thing is I take the video and I load it on YouTube and then I send it to my coach and say, look at 26 minutes and 17 seconds. Look at this one lap and tell me what I can do better. And every single time, you know what they say?
Everything.
Exactly. Precisely. So with the Sentinel system, you get instantaneous feedback plus useful feedback that unfortunately is accurate for my driving.
I think it's accurate for all of our driving.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's probably true. Yep. But you need to get one in your car, sir.
Yes, I do. And with the discount code that you're going to tell everybody, they can save 10% on this awesome system.
Yep. Trouble free. I haven't had an issue getting video every time we've gone out with the Sentinel. It's always worked. Can't say the same for some of the other systems we've tried. So I don't know. It's on the podcast notes down there. Don't do it while you're driving, though. We like to have our listeners live. It's good.
From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher, and their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicki Fisher, and our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Skripchuk. Their mission: to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Welcome to the Garage Heroes in Training Podcast. I'm the host who did not go to the race this weekend, who was racing.
I'm Vicki.
I'm Jennifer.
I'm Audra.
I'm Max.
I'm Ryan.
I hope you guys were faster at racing than you are at this first name thing. It looked like a couple of you were puzzled. It's like, what is my first name? Anyway, first post-race episode where I did not go. No, maybe not true. Maybe I was supposed to go. But anyway, so let's see. Ryan, you did most of the work on one of the cars. What was one of the cars?
El Jefe, or give it any other name that's been given over the years. Isuzu Hombre Chevy S10. Yeah, basically redid the entire driveline in the course of about 3 weeks. Replaced the engine, transmission, rear end, rebuilt the drive shaft, did a bunch of electrical work, did some cooling modifications, a few other rods and ends. Made it new again, more power, better limited slip instead of those spool rear end it had. Very, very different truck.
Miss Vicky's making comments with the
Is it though?
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's a lot less hectic to drive, in my opinion.
Well,
we have some adjustments to do to it.
We'll have discussions on that. Miss Vicky was complaining the little I talked to her because apparently it was a crazy weekend. All right, so well, let's stay on Jefe for now. So Ryan, you did the mechanical stuff, and then ladies, you did the theming.
Yes, we did.
In
Our
like
theming
record time.
Yes, with 1 week out.
Barely.
It was thrown down that we were doing Kentucky Derby, which was absolutely ridiculous, but it was fun. It was still ridiculous. And thanks to Eric Kritzler, who is very, very theatrical, and he just kind of skidded the whole thing out. So we had a platform to work through. It was pretty nice. It actually worked out pretty well. The judges got a kick out of it.
So Jen, is theatrical a nice way of saying melodramatic, or
Yes, a
okay?
little bit. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a great theme.
hmm
I'm not sure that you were totally on board with it, though, Bill. What were your thoughts on it?
So, uh, traditionally, we do a better job for pit race theming than any of the other races. We kind of theme for the year, and we're using this as kind of a interim. We've got 4 or 5 days once we picked up the car to do anything. So I was thinking, since it was a one and done, I couldn't really commit to it. So I was kind of in between and in betwixt on whether this was a great idea or not. I knew that with the quality of idiots that we have on our team, we could pull it off. We could basically, pull off peeling eggs, hard-boiled eggs. Peeling soft-boiled eggs would probably not go over well. But anyway, that's a different story. And it was just like I either want to do a theme like hard, or I don't want to do a theme and just do something stupid. And this was kind of in between. But it turned out that the quality of our idiots again led to another Halloween meets gasoline event at Pit Race. So that's one a year for 3 or 4 years running now, guys.
Yeah, but not too many people actually theme at Pitt. So,
Hey,
the big challenge is Jersey.
somebody's got to be the biggest shrimp.
Yeah. So, and like I said earlier, Jeremy was a jockey who just wore his jockeys and a suit jacket.
He never
Um,
listens to instructions.
no. And if there's a chance for Jeremy to show up in his underwear anywhere, then, just ask him. He'll find a reason. It was funny. It wasn't offensive. It worked.
Indeed. Max and Audrey, you guys slipped off your slope this week and you were racing with us this week.
Yeah, it was great.
How'd it feel to go back to the horrible past that you used to be involved with?
It was a great weekend, and I Pitt is my favorite track, so I was thrilled to be there. Seeing as the slippery slope car is a little bit melted at the moment, we're extremely grateful to have had the opportunity to go out there with all of you.
Well, it's a slippery slope, and we didn't want you guys falling by yourself, so we figured we could be a bad influence on you guys.
Per usual.
I mean, if you're going to influence somebody, make sure it's bad influence, though. It's fine.
Absolutely.
So Max, you were in one. I don't even know which car Audrey drove because nobody told me anything the entire weekend. Thanks, guys. Anyway, Max, you were in one of the cars, the other car that we haven't talked about yet. Max, what were you in?
I was in with Audra and Jeremy. It was an E46 coupe.
Yep, but it was not a 330. It was not an M3. It was the little baby boy 325, right?
Allegedly, yeah.
That's allegedly. Jeremy can't count any higher than that. That's where he poops out.
Yeah, it's a good car. It's a, BMW 3 Series that has a lot of the creature comforts left in it, which is actually kind of nice. Has heat, air conditioning, power mirrors,
CD player.
CD player, yeah.
He's one step away from the 18-way seats. I mean, he would have if he could have, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So, cool.
Yeah, it drove well. It was we had didn't have too many real issues with it. Just mostly the cooling system gave us some trouble at the end of the first day. And it had to get towed in, but it was only a few minutes before the checkers on Saturday, and then we got it fit. We managed to get it fixed and get it out there. I don't know, maybe a minute or so. I don't know, less than 10 minutes after green on Sunday, so we didn't really miss that much. It was out there most of the weekend. It was good.
Cool. So both cars are basically new. Well, first time as they're configured. I mean, major resuscitation thanks to Ryan on the El Jefe, and first time for Jeremy's recent conversion. And Audra, which car were you in? Were you in both cars?
No, I was in the BMW.
The car that I believe at practice you had a one-word answer for how is it?
Yes.
Yes, that
And
was the
what was
answer.
that word?
It was
That was
yes.
it was yes.
Oh, just yes.
Just yes.
Yes. Just in case. Okay, so let's see. BMW theme was
Well,
It's a black car, and Jeremy had his sports team.
baseball
What
team.
kind of sports team
Baseball.
is it? Baseball. Put their hands on. They put their hands all over it. So there's colored handprints from all of the kids all over the car. It is actually really cool looking. They did such
really
a great
was.
job. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to the Little League World Series this year. So Jeremy's using the lemons as a way to maybe raise a little money to get the kids out there because in spite of everybody's feelings, Little League is not a professional team. I don't know if you realize that, and you have to actually pay to go to the Little League World Series. So if you want to, garageheroesandtraining@gmail.com, and we'll put that into the Jeremy's baseball team from New Hampshire. Anyway, all right. So we were at Pit Race. How was the weather? I wasn't there.
Well, I think the first evening when we got in there, I think it was cold and damp. The second
It snowed here.
day was just chilly. It was chilly and it was cloudy. It really wasn't wet, but I mean, tires were cold.
Yeah.
Tires were cold on track. The next day, Sunday was actually beautiful. It was not, it was sunny. It was cool, but it was sunny. So, the weather really worked out for us. We were just out, in our chairs getting sun outside the garage,
I
which
walked
was
into
fun, which
I
was
walked
nice.
into work and I saw Jennifer. I'm like, you're pink.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. The weather was gorgeous, and the nice thing is that I believe by Sunday, Jennifer and I kind of worked out our own personal kinks with the truck, and we were able to have more confidence in the tire. Um, I think just setting out with the race truck, it felt different as it should because it was redone. And the tires were cold. But, by second day, we were just, giddy up with it. So it really worked out. It really worked out well. It was a lot of fun to drive. It was nice to revisit, the truck,
so the
kind of take a back step.
tires were smaller than what you're used to, narrower, so you had a little bit less grip than.
They were
No, they were 245s.
Well,
yeah.
oh, was the
Yeah,
BMW that
good.
was narrower?
The BMW,
Yeah, the BMW
was,
was
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I thought it was both cars. Anyway, so Miss Jen, I believe that I had this great plan several years back where we were going to diversify our driving skills and learn how to do a front wheel drive because we had conquered, in quotes, rear wheel drive cars. So let's expand our repertoire and go into front wheel
And did
drive.
we?
Well, some of us did, but Miss Jen, that didn't seem to be the best path for you. Perhaps I was reaching for a little too high there. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, you were, Bill.
Oh, that's not surprising, I guess.
No, I appreciate you challenging me all the time.
Yep.
Sometimes it's just a little frequent,
Like every time.
like every time. No, I guess what you're saying is rear wheel versus front wheel. I don't particularly care for front wheel.
Mm,
That's
the general.
that's the general overview of it all. I like the rear wheel. The Miata's fun to drive. The truck's fun to drive. I mean, I feel like I have more control.
Okay.
Front wheel, I just feel very nervous with. That's the summation of it all.
Okay. What makes you what is the uncomfortableness area, I guess? That's a horribly worded question. That's why I'm a podcast professional.
I've really given that some thought, and I just feel like when it slides,
Mm-hmm.
I can never
Catch it.
get that push-pull thing.
Oh, it's feet, not hands.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
It's yeah.
All right. That's fine. I guess we can sign you up for El Jefe for the rest of the year.
No, I mean, I will drive a front wheel. It's just if you're asking my preference,
Okay. That's fine. That's
I
fine.
like the rear.
That's
Yeah.
good. Miss Vicky, you said that the limited slip in El Jefe was different and you didn't like it?
It's not that I didn't like it. It was different, but was also adjustments that need to be made. And Ryan can kind of go into that a little better. But when I was hitting, it didn't like right turns because
Why didn't it like right turns?
obviously,
It's a right turn track.
yes. Well, sharp rights. It doesn't like sharp rights because that's the spinning tire. So you're just kind of skipping because all the front was when you go into a turn and you step on the brakes, all your power kind of goes to the front. And as you're turning, all your weight is going on the front right tire.
Left if
And
you're
then
turning
that
right.
back, no, I'm sorry, the front left tire, but that back right tire is your spinning tire. And it wasn't really doing anything
It's
because it was lifted up a little bit because our weight wasn't back there. Is
Ryan,
that right, Ryan?
keep me out of the
Because
bathtub,
it it,
Ryan.
it always just kind of felt like it was like dit, 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 dit,
So
dit. And then
Hefe had a mini had a Hefe had a mini spool in it, so it
Uh-huh.
was locked at all times. But it made for a very frantic driving experience. It you had to be on edge. It always wanted to snap around. It wanted to fight and shimmy and buck going into corners and coming out of corners, especially if you were kind of cresting a hill or something. It kind of Nick and Jeremy and I kind of ground it to hibbity bibbity. It kind of just pops and weaves and does whatever it wants coming up over the hill. And we switched to a Zexel or Torsen rear, which is a geared limited slip. So when one tire lifts off the ground, it has no way to bias the torque. So it just unloads like an open differential. It's not like a clutch pack style, which still can bias some on torque. So it unloads, and I was finding it in every corner when on Saturday when I finally really was putting the truck through its paces and I was at the limit of the tires. Basically everywhere I was lifting a tire left or right, and it was a lot of maintenance throttle. But the truck was much more predictable at the limit, and it was less intense to manage at the limit. Just especially in the S's, it was power down every time I got out of a corner, but it was always, lift, manage it because you could hear it just wah, 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 trying to wind
Great.
up. And I was able to manage it, through the S's, but left, right, it kept lifting a tire. But I mean, I got the truck down to, I think it was like a 222.7,
Oh,
which
that's good.
according to Jeremy and Chris, which is the fastest that thing's ever run.
Mhm.
And with some not overly heat cycled tires and some stiffer front springs, that thing absolutely got like a 218, 217 in it.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah,
more to give. It can give some BMWs a run for its money.
So
yeah,
do we
there's
need to
going to be some
soften?
adjustments that we need to certainly make on the front end to make that
Do
balance
we
out a little better.
so do we need to soften the rear or put a bigger sway bar in the front or?
You can get a bigger sway bar OEM, so it's already got the big 36 millimeter sway bar up front, so you can't go much bigger than that. So your next step is to go with springs. So as soon as the truck ends up back in my house, I'm going to pull the springs out, measure them up. They're just a set of ground force lowering springs, so nothing fancy. I was doing some research. I think you can get some like third gen F body stuff. Get something around like 700 or 800 pound spring in the front of it. It needs a coil correcting spacer. It suffers from what they call Chevy lean, where the left side
Mhm.
drops about an inch compared to the other. So you get that spacer, get a stiffer front set of springs in it. I think that'll be where the magic is.
Okay, cool. Well, speaking of the magic,
It'll be fun to drive when it's real set, but it gave the tires a workout, I must say.
you talked right over my perfect segue. Speaking of magic, Audra.
Magic? Awesome. I
Exactly.
always wanted to be
Exactly.
magic.
Exactly. How was your BMW beyond yes?
It's very well set up. It was a great experience with that car. obviously a little bit faster than our slippery slope car, so it was kind of neat to have the speed. And I have to say, my favorite thing, my absolute favorite thing, was that it was freezing cold Saturday morning, and there's heat in the BMW, and boy, wasn't that special to have heat.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how pit race always starts with on Saturday, you're mostly running under double yellow,
Yep.
and I was starting Saturday morning, so in between the double yellow, well, during the double yellows and in between racing, I had got to play. There was a CD in the radio because it still worked, so I had tunes and I had heat.
Mm-hmm. And if it was allowed, you would have had windows as well.
Right. Yes. So, oh, well, you could, there was actually windshield wipers with windshield wiper fluid, so you could actually clean the window too. So
Yes.
it was a
Amazing.
huge bonus on all of those things. The creature comforts were phenomenal.
Yep. Did they get the seat fixed for you so you and Max were able to share without different body geometry?
Yeah, I mean, I probably could have used my cushion. I have, the cushion that I probably could have used that to see a little bit better. But not using it allowed us to not have to adjust the sub. So I chose not having to adjust the sub over being able to really see over, the dashboard, which is okay because it just makes you look ahead.
Yep. So Max, you've driven the Spec E30, you've driven your 5 Series, now you've driven the 325 Monster small block. I guess we're going small block. We're making it sound racy. How would you compare them?
So the 5 Series alignment is not good. So
because it's melted or before?
No, it's just it's not set up very well suspension wise.
Oh, okay.
So that's a big difference right off the bat. The E30s and the E46s, I mean, there's a power difference there.
Okay.
So that's pretty noticeable, and the brakes feel a lot better in the E46, which is good because you're usually going faster when you need them.
Yeah.
And
couple decades of progress.
They're pretty similar. They're pretty easy to drive, both of them.
Yeah, you can tell they're related, I think.
Yeah.
So cool. So since you guys didn't have me there, you guys pretty much kicked butt this week. I believe everyone in the El Jefe, you guys came in 49th out of 117. Nicely done. Well above target.
Thank you.
Well above target. I think your fastest lap, I will confirm, 2:22.7. So nice. I think that's like 5 seconds faster than it was, maybe 7, something like that. So job well done. And then Max and Audra and Jeremy, who's not here, but we'll hear from him shortly, not tonight, but shortly. You guys came in 21st on a display with several learning growth opportunities. So fast time 2:11 in A spec. So nicely done on that one. Both cars did much better than we were anticipating for a first weekend of both. So good job, guys.
Yeah,
indeed.
It was pretty surprising.
Yeah, I was not rooting against you, but first time out with race cars, it's at best a dice roll. So nice done, nice job. This sounds like everything went well. You guys did great. Let's talk about the. I'm going to be nice. First race of the weekend, 2 new fresh builds. I'm not going to ask anything about black flags. Not going to ask.
None.
Nothing to talk about there.
No black flag.
Nobody got black flags.
I had one.
You did.
Oh,
Ryan.
I did.
What'd you do?
I wasn't going to argue with the judges, but the corner station clearly had a white flag, and I came around and I passed someone, and the next station had a yellow, and my pass was done before the yellow, but they decided to penalize me for a pass under yellow.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to argue with the judges, so I just said, okay, fine.
Who was the judge?
Judge Janice.
Janice? Okay. Well, former podcast guest. So
Jennifer got called in for a black flag, but she didn't get a black flag. It was somebody else's truck.
It was they said that I had gone off in turn 12. And I didn't go off. So I don't know. It's not like the truck is, there's a lot of red trucks out there.
No.
There were 2 other trucks.
Couldn't
Oh,
tell
there
the
was?
difference between yellow and tan.
So there was the yellow one,
There
the
was
red
Glenn
one.
Farney's,
Yeah.
and then
They said there was a truck that got pulled in after.
yeah, it was the
So
gold truck.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But they looked around and they said they don't see any evidence of me going off. I guess they were looking for dirt or something.
Listen, we own up to our red flags.
Well,
So
I would come in every time that I've gone off. I just come in, so I wouldn't have kept going.
as I have mentioned to you in the past and to Vicki, yeah, I have no doubt that you'll come in. Usually you'll do a driver change, walk away, and then the driver will go back out, and then they'll get called in for your red flag. So
How the game works. No.
yep, apparently, because I think Jeremy's been put to the judges like 4 times with you two. But anyway,
No,
yeah,
nice.
it's more than 2. Anyway,
I need proof of that.
I do have proof of that. I have an Excel spreadsheet right in front of me right now. All right, so since I was not there, I cannot give awards. I will assume you were all spectacular. Well done, everybody. Let's just wrap this one up real quick with the good, the bad, and the ugly, which is code for highlight, low light, and ideally story time. So let's start with the way they are on my screen. Max.
So the good, the cars were on the track most of the race, both days. That was great.
Yep.
Bad, I would say the double yellows Saturday morning were extensive.
Yeah,
and
usually.
The ugly, I would say the front left truck tire at the end of the day Sunday.
That's right.
We didn't talk about that. So let's talk about the front left tire. Now, did we check the tires Saturday night?
We did, and I elected to reverse rotate them, go side to side.
Okay.
Because the staggered wheels, so you couldn't go front to back on them.
Okay.
They're staggered setup, so I had to go side to side with them. The right front was pretty beat up, and I knew it wasn't going to last in the right front location, so I moved the left front over to the right front.
Didn't last there either.
That would it didn't last there either. It was either that or put 225s on the truck, and I wasn't ready to make that commitment to a narrower tire. It was going to be a real handful.
Yeah. So you're running Okay, so you had 225 front, 245 rear.
No, 245s front and rear, but they were 8-inch, 17 by 8s up front, 17 by 9s out back, and you can't fit a 9 up front on an S10 without some work.
Right. Okay. All right. That's why they were staggered. Okay. All right. So, because to me, they were Falcons, right?
Yes. No, sorry, I think that's RS4s.
RS4s? Okay. Because to me, it looked like, and I'm looking at a phone picture. It looked to me like they were a little under pressure. Looked like the pressure was a little low.
We did drop the pressure 1 pound in the front and 2 pounds in the rear between Saturday and Sunday, and that actually helped a little bit with the body roll, and it helped to keep the rear end planted a little more. I was able to power out of the corners a little harder, and not by much. But the front tires were just scrubbed. It felt like rumble strips when you were taking any hard corners. Just you could feel the tires rotating. They were done.
Well, Pitt is traditionally a very difficult tire track. So, general rule for those playing the home game: when you go to Pitt, bring some extra tires. You're probably going to need them. All right. So Max did his good, bad, and the ugly. Next on my list, according to the random Zoom scroll, Miss Audra, good, bad, the ugly.
So I'm going to go off track without a black flag for my good, and I'm going to say, Bill Fisher, remotely, your recommendation for Sal's restaurant was
Vinny's.
primo.
Vinny's.
Oh my.
Vinny's.
Those calzones were to die for.
It's even better when you go to.
Then I'm not going to get another one of those until next year.
They're so good. No, we're going in July.
July?
Yeah, that's when we do the HPDE, if you can.
Ah. Well, I think for an opportunity for a calzone, Max and I should look at those dates.
I believe you should, because not only do you have that, but you also have more Pit Race. And what's better than Pit Race? More
Not
Pit
much.
Race. More
Yeah.
Pit Race. All right, next on my list.
Awesome.
It is. According to Ben Dawson, PittRace is like a little VIR. So we're looking forward to VIR this
Ooh.
year. All right, Miss Vicki, you're next on the list by random Zoom ordering.
Mhm.
Good, bad, the ugly.
The good was that we had an abundant amount of mechanics.
That's true. I wasn't there. You guys were set.
Yeah, and the cars ran well. I mean, uh, we, at least Jennifer and I, we weren't racing as much as we were just getting used to the truck and just testing the limits with it, but not, beating the crap out of it. And getting used to being in a rear wheel drive again.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was really nice that, um, I mean, everybody was just so fast to diagnose things. Usually we're like chewing at the bit, trying to solve issues, but that was pretty awesome. The bad, um, probably just the chilliness of the weekend.
Oh,
I think
it's
it
April at
wasn't
PittRace,
terrible, but it's pit.
yeah.
And the ugly, probably just the blown tire because I wouldn't even say it was ugly. I would just say it was impressive.
Yeah, I
It
believe
was,
I believe all dollars were extracted from that tire.
yes, yes. There was no ugly this weekend, I have to say. At least not with our team.
Okay.
But everything kind of went well. All the cars, the issues that they had, I mean, they weren't
Minor.
complicated. They were fixed. I mean, they weren't earth-shattering.
Yeah.
Um,
No bridges.
no.
Nope.
Yeah, right. There was this one guy that was there though, where he blew what, two holes in his engine? I think um it wasn't
Yeah,
on
the
our team.
Mercedes.
It was the other team that won also the Halloween meets gasoline. They were in theme the whole time. But that guy, I think he wore the piston around his neck on a rope, like a little string. And that was the weekend. He just had his thing. It was a great conversation starter.
All right.
Yep.
Ryan, next on the list. Saving Miss Jen for the final spot. Good, bad, the ugly.
Good. I think Hefe is better than it's ever been. Some
Yeah.
people may disagree, but like you said, it was 5-ish seconds faster than it's ever been. It felt
It just
great
needs
compared to previous
tweaking.
times I've
That's all.
driven it. It was fun to beat up on some cars that I had no right beating up on, and scaring the crap out of them with what that thing could do. There really weren't many cars that couldn't outbrake, which is crazy.
It was really good in the bowl.
It was
Like
stunning
I was
driving
outpacing
that thing
people
into
in
the
the
bowl.
bowl.
It's finally
Yep.
a B class car because it's always been like
Yeah.
a good C or a terrible B, and now it's a B.
The bad would be I had on Saturdays as I was really starting to push it harder and harder. I was getting into my stride too late in my stint where the tank was getting too low, and I came up over the hill going into turn one. And I'm like, I can wait till I get over the crest of the hill, put the brakes on, and it locked up everything on me. And it was left, right, left. I saved it, and it was a huge smoke show. And if someone got it, I want to see it because I felt like it was amazing. I'm sure it wasn't anything, but there was some thumbs up I got from people as they watched me recover. The ugly is the dive bombing. The dive bombing, the overpowering into the corner, and then the blowing it into the tire wall. So many busted tire walls.
There was one group that hit the tire wall in the same spot twice.
That wasn't tire wall. That was a Armco. That was right by the flagger at the entry to turn one.
And didn't you run out of gas?
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, I did run out of gas. I did run out of gas. Jeremy's like, it'll go 3 hours. So I was beating the snot out of it on Saturday, going, yeah, whatever. And then
the gas gauge wasn't working.
It never.
Yeah, I was coming up over the hill in turn 11, and it just said, nope. Yeah. And I'm like, oh no.
Never trust Jeremy's math. Just don't.
Yeah.
It's better that way.
All right. We didn't have the gas gauge working.
New motor equals thirsty.
Yeah.
He had it timed out, but
yeah. No, it's fine.
He's like, I'm driving and is using a lot of gas.
Miss Jen,
Yes.
Good, bad, ugly.
I think the best thing was seeing everybody this weekend.
Yeah.
It was just so much fun. The bad was, I mean, they were bad things. I guess, what happened to the truck and the coolant in the car but those are minor things. So I don't think there was anything really bad.
Okay.
It was all really good. I had a great weekend. It was a
Awesome.
lot of fun. We won. Our theme was great.
Mm-hmm.
Cars ran great.
Mm-hmm.
So it was great. It was a great
Food was
weekend.
great.
Food was great. It was all
Awesome,
fun.
awesome.
It was a
Any
great
story?
weekend.
Any story? Any ugly?
I got no uglies. Like I personally don't. Like it was just a great weekend. It was
Right.
fun and relaxing and had a great time.
All right, I'm challenging
Missed you, Bill.
No, thank you. I'm challenging you, Miss Jen. Next race, you need to either have an ugly or have a story. I want something. I want a story.
Why do I need an ugly story?
It's not an ugly story. It's a story. It doesn't have to be ugly.
Okay.
It could be something
Ugly or story.
Yeah.
Or a story.
It's an excuse for a story. And some of the stories, like the car that hit the wall in the exact same spot twice and then said, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing." I'm like, no, that's not you, buddy. Anyway, looks like you guys did well. I consider it a great race. 2 new cars, no major hiccups. I was not viewed as any of your goods for the weekend by not being there, so I'm taking that as a win on my part. Job well done. That was a joke. Terrible joke, but whatever. Anyway, nicely done. Weather at Pit Race in April is I think we usually say that what's the weather at Pit Race in April? The weather is all of the weather. So if you feel like it wasn't very nice there, just want you to know it snowed here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you didn't miss anything on our end. But no fun. Glad everybody got home. It was a little bit of a tough commute. Audra and Max weren't towing, so they did the cannonball all the way. And then Ryan and Jeremy took a pit stop, which I don't think they got as much rest as the clock would have said, but hopefully that made the trip back a little better. And job well done.
It's good.
Thank you.
Next time you got to stay for breakfast, though, guys. Breakfast. We can make breakfast. It's okay.
Yeah, I missed you like by 10 minutes.
It's okay. The bald man had left the building by then. All right. Good job, guys. Thanks for sharing all the pictures. I'll use them for this episode. I didn't get any. Send me pictures. Thanks,
okay.
everybody.
We'll remember that next time.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Job well done.
Yeah.
You guys did good. I'm surprised the cars did as well as they did. That's probably, one brand new car is a roll of the dice. 2 brand new cars. I'm sitting here going, we need garages. We need garages bad. So it's okay. Cool. All right.
I think everybody's just exhausted.
Yep. I'm the only one with energy. The rest of you guys are like,
blah. Yeah. Well, it's post race, so.
Yeah. Well, when it's 8:30 and Jennifer is the fountain of energy for the entire team, we're in trouble.
Sorry.
Usually she's you were the one with the most energy on the call because usually she's asleep for 2 hours by now. Anyway, good job. Next time we see everybody is Jersey. Is that right?
Yeah, I'll be seeing Ryan before then, or at least dropping off.
Yep. All right. Excellent. Well, we'll set that up. And we'll talk. Oh, Audra just sent me a bunch of pictures. Look at that. Holy cow. I got 11 pictures and 1 video. Sweet. Download.
Yeah.
Oh,
I sent you a text about Jersey too, if you have a chance.
Okay.
I got some pictures.
Yeah, sorry, I forget to take. I always forget to take pictures. If Larry's there, there's nothing. If Larry's not there, there's nothing because he's like our, photographer. It's our paparazzi, if you will.
Yeah, we have a photographer. It's pretty
sweet.
No,
it's what you do when you drive a BMW 5 Series. We have our own special photographer.
Right.
Yes.
I'm missing Larry though. He's having open heart surgery in June.
Oh no.
So
oh no! For what?
With us. He has some little thing on his heart.
Oh.
Is it a valve thing or is it a muscle thing?
They thought it was a blood clot. They're not sure what it is, so they're going in and they're taking it out because they're worried that it'll kill him. So hopefully they'll
No
get that
bueno.
before it kills him, because that would be pretty awful. I'm making light because it's the only way I can actually deal with it. But yeah, it's he has to have open heart surgery, which is pretty fucking scary.
Yeah. When's he getting it?
June.
Okay. Yeah, there were garages available. Ryan just rented one last week, so
Oh, perfect.
I think it's around 110 is our number, and then we'll shuffle if we need to. So
Okay, cool.
Okay, so Jersey, say good luck to Team Crunch and Munch, or what is it? What is it? Gas and Crunch? What is he? What's he always call himself?
Who?
Larry.
Oh,
Oh, the chewing crew.
Chewing
Our
crew. That's what it
chewing
was.
crew.
I'm like Crunch and Munch. I'm like, that makes no sense. Why am I saying this?
I'm gonna tell him that's what you call them. He'll
Yeah.
think it's hilarious.
You know, one step away from Cookie Monster. Well, tell my Norm that he needs to be on the mend, because he will be missed. And I even had my plaid shirt ready for the weekend, and it wasn't any fun doing it here by myself because nobody would hold the camera for me. So, all right, everybody,
get a selfie stick.
maybe I might do that next time. That might work. All right, everybody get some rest. You guys look like
All right.
you're post race. Looks like you raced all weekend or something. Not like me. I'm fine.
Bye, guys. Jen's like, out.
Jen's like, whoosh. Did you see the sucking sound that she went hit the stop button?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. We'll catch up.